Imagine standing completely alone on the peak of a mountain. Surrounding you is a hostile crowd of thousands, including a ruthless king and an army of 450 rival prophets who want you dead. You have no weapons, you have no army. All you have is your voice and an absolute unshakable confidence in your creator. This isn't a scene from a blockbuster movie. This is one of the most epic, high-stakes historical events recorded in the Bible. The Showdown on Mount Carmel. It was a public test of ultimate power. One man challenged an entire national religion to a contest with a very simple rule. 2 altars will be built, 2 sacrifices will be prepared, but no human is allowed to light the fire. The God who answers by dropping fire from the sky, he is the true God. What happened that day wasn't just a miracle, it was a display of sheer, undeniable dominance that defied the laws of nature. To understand the tension of this moment, we have to look at the background. The nation of Israel was in its darkest era. King Ahab and his notorious queen, Jezebel, had completely corrupted the land. They killed off the true prophets and forced the nation to worship Baal, a pagan god of weather, rain, and storms. But God sent a prophet named Elijah to shut down their entire system. Elijah simply walked up to the most powerful king in the world and declared that there would be no rain or dew in the land until he gave the word. For 3 agonizing years, not a single drop of water fell from the sky. The rivers dried up, the crops died. The irony was massive. Baal was supposed to be the god of storms, yet he was completely powerless to make it rain. After 3 years of severe drought, God told Elijah it was time to break the silence. It was time for the ultimate confrontation. Elijah summoned King Ahab and the 450 prophets of Baal to the top of Mount Carmel. Thousands of people gathered to watch this historic standoff. Elijah stepped forward and delivered a legendary challenge to the crowd. How long will you waver between 2 opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal is God, follow him. The crowd was dead silent. So Elijah laid out the rules of engagement. He told the 450 prophets, "Get 2 bulls for us. You choose one, cut it into pieces, and put it on the wood, but do not set fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood, but I will not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of my God." The God who answers by fire, he is God. It was a brilliant challenge. If Baal was truly the god of weather and lightning, sending a bolt of fire should be incredibly easy for him. The 450 prophets agreed. The stage was set. Since Elijah was outnumbered 450 to 1, he confidently gave them the home field advantage. He let them go first. From morning until noon, the 450 prophets screamed to their God. They danced around their altar. They shouted, "Oh Baal, answer us!" But the sky was completely silent. Nothing happened. By noon, Elijah started doing something you rarely see in ancient texts. He started heavily mocking them. He shouted, "Shout louder, surely he is a god." Perhaps he is deep in thought or busy or traveling. Maybe he is sleeping and must be awakened. Desperate and humiliated, the rival prophets began slashing themselves with swords and spears, screaming frantically until the evening. But still there was no voice, no answer, no fire. Their God was an absolute illusion. Now, it was Elijah's turn. He called the people closer. He took 12 stones and rebuilt the ruined altar of the Lord. He dug a deep trench all around it. He arranged the wood and the sacrifice. But then Elijah did something completely insane. He didn't want anyone to think this was a magic trick or a hidden spark. He wanted to make it scientifically and physically impossible for this wood to burn. In the middle of a 3-year devastating drought where water was the most valuable thing on earth, Elijah ordered the people to fill 4 massive jars with water and pour it over the offering and the wood. Then he said, "I'll do it a second time." They did it a second time. Then he smiled and said, "Do it a third time." The water absolutely soaked the wood, drenched the sacrifice, and completely filled the deep trench around the altar. It was a soaking, wet, impossible mess. You couldn't light this with a blowtorch if you tried. Elijah stepped forward. He didn't dance, he didn't scream, he didn't cut himself. He simply looked up to the sky and prayed a calm, 30-second prayer. Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant. Answer me, Lord, so these people will know that you are God. Instantly, the sky exploded. A blinding, terrifying pillar of fire dropped directly from heaven. But this wasn't normal fire. The extreme heat of this divine blast consumed the sacrifice, the wood, the stones of the altar, the soil, and it instantly vaporized every single drop of water in the trench. Nothing was left but scorched earth. When all the people saw this impossible spectacle, they fell on their faces and shouted, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" The lesson here is profound. You might feel completely outnumbered in your life right now. You might feel like the odds are stacked against you and your situation is as impossible to ignite as soaking wet wood. But Elijah's story proves one epic truth. Standing alone doesn't mean you are weak, as long as the Creator of the universe is standing with you. Bold faith doesn't fear the odds, because bold faith knows exactly who controls the fire. If this epic story inspired you today, please drop a like, hit subscribe, and share this video. Keep standing strong.